Hello everyone, welcome back to another 1v1 battle. This is going to be the Greenskins versus Chaos. My army here is we have 4 Black Orcs being led by Grimgor Ironhide and an Orc Shaman. I also have 2 Orc Boys deployed on the flanks and then 2 Orc Biggins, a Hill Giant, or I guess just a Giant. I also have the Mangy Marauders and then 2 Wolf Riders who have not been seen yet. The Chaos player here, we have 3 Manticores, one of which has a Chaos or Sword of Death, the other one has a Chaos Lord riding it. There are 2 Chaos Warriors with Halberds. The rest of the front line is Chaos Warriors, 1 Aspiring Champion, and then 2 Chosen with great weapons. Now, this battle is being started a little into it. The initial deployment zone was my orcs were deployed here, and I was going to move up and then over, which is what I'm doing. And the Chaos Warrior unit or army was deployed right here. And so far, they have moved up and have been chasing my Marauders because the Marauders have been just kind of plicking away at this group of Halberds and then a little bit at the I think the Chaos Lord and the Chaos Sorcerer at this point. So I've just been trying to annoy them and getting some armor piercing damage in with the Wolf Riders and just, again, being an annoyance. And holding these Wolf Riders in reserve until the appropriate time when they're needed. I'm not going to forget about them. I'm just holding them back in the forest until they're needed. And again, we've spent about 3 or 4 minutes, I think, into the battle so far of just kind of hitting units here and there and being an annoyance to those guys. And now it was at this point, again, 3 or 4 minutes into the battle, that the enemy finally saw my army. So they are going to be pulling their army back up to this hill, and then they're going to be marching forward. I'm going to be marching forward, and I think the actual engagement is going to happen around right here. In the meantime, though, I'm still going to just be an annoyance with our Marauders, and I'm going to try and hit their Chosen with great weapons because that is a very real threat to my army. Chosen with great weapons can definitely take on Black Orcs, so I need to do as much damage to them as I can, since Black Orcs are my main part of my force. For my Orc Shaman, by the way, we have Here We Go and then the Foot of Gork, as well as a Scroll of Protective Shielding. To go along with Grimgor. Just, by the way. Let's fast forward this a little bit. I'm just hitting their Chosen. Right now I'm hitting their Aspiring Champions because I was moving them and they have Fire at Will on. Going to be pushed away by the Manticore. Then we're going to come back. And I'm going to hit the Chosen again, I believe. I think. Or I may just hide out in this forest for a little bit. Again, our army's just kind of slowly marching. I've been marching a long way, so I'm actually having my forces walk so they don't get winded before they even get into the battle, because that's definitely a thing that can happen. Because again, they were back here and they were running all the way up here, and if you run that far, your forces will get winded before the battle even starts. So I'm just kind of taking it slow right now and making sure that they remain in fresh status. Now the Manticores are moving on to my right flank, so it is free for my Morgrove's Major Marauders to come back in here and start attacking these Chosen with great weapons again. And we should be engaging in a battle here very soon. Again, I'm going to keep my Wolf Riders back until their time is needed. Was moving Grimgor over here because I thought they were going to just charge my Orc Boys over here, but they are going to try and cast a Spirit Leech, or not try, but they did cast a Spirit Leech on my Orc Shaman, who I'm moving closer to my Black Orcs in case they want to try and ambush him. Then I could pounce on them with the Orc Biggins and then also the Black Orcs. Want to try and keep him safe. I want his magic for this battle. In the meantime, though, I'm kind of cool with not charging right now because I'm just getting free damage in on their Chosen, which I am totally cool with. I'm totally cool with just using all my ammunition and bringing these guys down as low as possible. But as you can see, the enemy is going to charge us, so I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to issue some charge orders down the line. Orc Boys versus Chaos Warriors, but the rest of my Black Orcs are going to be fighting against Chaos Warriors and Chaos Warriors with Halberds. But that should still be a fight that Black Orcs should win. So I feel pretty confident in that. And then there's going to be the wall going down by Grimgor, which is going to help the center out a lot. And you can see the Manticore group is going to come back in here and try and take out these Black Orcs. I'm also going to be having to suffer through the Soul Blight and Doom and Darkness, which is the Terror Bomb. But Terror Bomb on Black Orcs doesn't really work because Black Orcs are immune to fear and terror. So the idea is you, with this Terror Bomb, which is what this player just did, is when you put these 2 spells overlapping each other, you cast that and you lower the enemy's leadership to the point where then terror can take effect. And that's why they're charging with these Manticores behind my Black Orcs to try and get even a lower leadership with the rear charge. If we can, hold on, because I'm trying to show you what they're trying to do here. Usually if you hover over the leadership bar, it tells you what's affecting it. Come on. It doesn't want to do it. That's really weird. Usually if you hover over that, it shows you leader. Anyway, the point is you put those 2 spells over a group of enemies. You then do a rear charge because then you're going to suffer a charge in the rear penalty to your leadership, and then terror will hit. But Black Orcs are immune to psychology, which means they will not break because of terror. So the terror bomb, while it will lower their leadership, it is not going to break them unless they are already severely injured. So the Doom and Darkness and Soul Blight Terror Bomb combo is not really going to work on the Black Orcs. You can see it brought them pretty low, but now their leadership is coming back because the spells are wearing off. So to do a Terror Bomb against Black Orcs, you have to wait for their units to already take a lot of damage. You can see a Foot of Gork being dropped right back there. Still using my ammo to try and take out these Chosen. I have the Wolf Riders out here, so I'm just going to charge the Aspiring Champions, and then I'm going to do a rear charge on... Alright, I stopped. I did recharge with both of them on these units over here on the left flank. Meanwhile, Grimgor, I think I had him fighting the Chaos... Yeah, I had him going after the Chaos Lord in the center there. And you can see our Black Orcs have kind of chewed through the Chaos Warriors with halberds because they're Black Orcs. And they're amazing. And again, immune to psychology. Meanwhile, my Giant was over here on the right trying to assist my Orc Boys and Black Orcs over here in the fight against the Chaos Warrior frontline. The rear charge with the Wolf Riders is actually going to help break these Chaos Warriors because leadership, you can see they are currently routing. And now I'm going to stick these Wolf Riders, including the Mainstream Marauders who are now out of ammunition, and I'm going to have them chasing all these routing units. And as long as you're chasing a routing unit, it will not come back from routing. So this is something that the Wolf Riders are very good at. Unfortunately, this one's going to actually get caught by the Chosen with great weapons a little bit, which is not what they want. But as you can see, the fight is basically going my way. Grimgor is now over here with the Giant, dealing what's left with the Aspiring Champions. Again, the center is mostly just clear. Now I'm going to be putting our Black Orcs up and around. I think I'm going to have these guys going around and behind the Chosen. But you can see these Chosen are actually dealing a ton of damage to my Black Orcs because they're Chosen. They are a very strong unit. I'm trying to pin down the Chaos Sorcerer, I believe, with Orc Biggins. Yes. I added 2 Orc Biggins in this battle to combat either Cav or large creatures, which in this case, the Chaos Sorcerer, Chaos Lord, and the Manticore are all big creatures. So I was trying to save them for that. You can see the Soul Blight being cast on my units here, but it's not going to be enough to save this Chaos Sorcerer of Death from being routed off the field. Meanwhile, back here, you can see my Wolf Riders still chasing off routing units and not letting them come back from routing, and just getting little kills here and there. And my Black Orcs are now just kind of... They broke through the center, and then they collapsed around on the left and the right, which is going to make those flanks just fall due to the amount of Black Orcs and leadership in the area. And again, the Giant was over here the whole time. Now he's going to get into these Chosen with great weapons, which is a great fight for the Hill Giant. I don't know why I keep calling him Hill Giant. Giants can do really well against Chosen, especially Chosen with great weapons. And there's really not too much left of the Chaos Forces at this point. And Grimgor is just trying to finish off the Chaos Sorcerer, or not, sorry, the Chaos Lord, not the Chaos Sorcerer. And now you can see they're going to route and do a mass chain route, and that is going to seal the deal for the Forces of Chaos. So they were, I'm not going to say they were banking on the Terror Bomb working, but usually if you bring a Sorcerer Lord of Death and you bring those spells, you're kind of banking on the Terror Bomb. Terror Bomb can work on so many armies, but the Black Orcs are not one of them. Against like a Bretonnian army, can definitely crush, because it's insane. Because even at like full health, a Terror Bomb can make most units route in terror, and then you're just chasing them at that point, and they're still in a routing status, and you just chew them alive, and a person's front line will melt instantly. The Terror Bomb is a very real and dangerous tactic to fight against, but again, in this case, I brought 4 Black Orcs, so it kind of counters the Terror Bomb build. Unfortunately for my opponent, but good games nonetheless to Crow. Let's see, 10 kills on Grimgor Ironhide. I believe I had him trying to chase down Sorcerer Lord and the Chaos Lord through most of that battle. So he didn't really get too many kills. Orc Shaman didn't get really any kills in the Foot of Gork. I actually just kind of dropped it there because I just wanted to use it. I didn't think it was going to give me any kills, and it did not. The Orc Boys did pretty good. Considering they were fighting against Chaos Warriors, I think that's pretty good. The Black Orcs all did exceptionally well. The Mage and Marauders got 24 kills. A lot of that is on the Chosen with great weapons. Well, maybe. Maybe like half and half, because again, they were chasing off routing units there towards the end too. Wolf Riders did a good job of keeping the Chaos Warriors with halberds off the field. As soon as they routed, I just didn't let them come back from routing. Giant got 43 kills against Chaos Warriors and Chosen, which is excellent. And then the Biggins did some damage to the bigger creatures of the battlefield. The Chaos Warriors, a couple of them did pretty well. These are probably the ones fighting against my Orc Boys, and the 3 and 7 were mostly the ones fighting against my Black Orcs, because Chaos Warriors are very tanky, but Black Orcs can chew through armor. Same thing with the Chaos Warriors with halberds. They were not really built to kill Black Orcs. And then the Chosen, 58 kills is still pretty good against Black Orcs, though. That's really, really good. 38 is still not too bad when you're fighting against Black Orcs. And then the Chaos Lord getting 28 kills is really good too. So again, good game to Crow. Hope you enjoyed the Grimgor Black Orcs Giant Goblin build. I don't have a good name. I'll work on that. And we'll go to a cinematic view of this battle. Get him, boys! Also, I think I may have just put the Chosen in the main battle line and not behind. In this case, because I didn't have any archers to try and take them down, at least behind my front line. Of course, it had them behind them with these Wolf Riders. But if there's really like no archers, no anti-armor archer units to worry about, I would just put your Chosen in the main line and have them charging first and not second. Because when you charge behind your own infantry, you're going to kind of lose your charge bonus for the most part. Which Chosen to have a high one. And again, I think Giants are very safe picks against a Chaos Army. Because, like, the Marauder Horse Masters can definitely take a Giant down pretty quickly, but people don't usually bring them. And they're a good unit. Horse Masters, specifically. Not Horsemen. Yeah, they can definitely take down a Giant pretty easily. But again, since you don't really see them often, Giants are pretty safe. And they do work against a Chaos armor front line. And they got bad breath. I guess Shaggoths could take down a Giant too, though. You see those a lot. Still, the Giant should be able to kind of hold us. Well, I don't know. Shaggoths have bonus versus large. I guess in the end they probably would win. But I think the Giant would still deal a lot of damage to Shaggoth too. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the battle, everybody. The Grimgor Black Orcs / Goblin Wolf Rider build Orc Shaman thing. Again, working title. I will see you all next time. Take care.